Thought I'd hang out for a little bit here, see how this updated camera works. My boss was kind enough to give me this thing, and I thought that was pretty cool of him. Switch this over here. I see you're not really doing much, goofing off on the computer a little bit, and updating the computer behind me there. One of my other gaming rigs that seem to have some sound problems with it, and I'm hoping I can dig up an update for it now, because it's amazing enough it's not as strong as this one as far as components that I'm on now, but it sure does seem to perform better. And I think it's because that was an Intel gaming processor in that thing. Man, is this year stunk or what? I mean, I got this COVID stuff has really just tied things down. Yeah, we'll see if anybody pops on here, see what's going on. If you just came in, say, hey, not to yourself, type it in. Come on, I see you. It says there's 2. Steeler! What's up, dude? How's this camera look, man? I got a guy that I work with in my office. He's our fleet manager for all of our county vehicles, and he is a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And I told him today, while I'm not a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers because they knocked my Los Angeles Rams out years ago in a Super Bowl, I got to admit, I do like watching Ben Roethlisberger play. I got my Sunday best shirt on here, so I better dress up. Yeah, Super Bowls aren't like those anymore. It seems like every other year somebody gets destroyed completely. Okay, so that one was bad. Leave me alone. Fortunately, I am a Washington, D.C. area native, and my poor burgundy and gold has been pathetic over the last decade or more. I'm testing this camera out because I guess I'm gonna be on with Jester and them on Saturday. So I want to make sure this thing works right. Does it sound okay? All right, good deal. This is one of those, it's a Logitech, but it's a 930E. It's one of the business streaming cams or whatever. It's got a real good wide view. Problem is, I don't think you can adjust this stuff while you're actually live. At least not that I'm aware of. I got to figure out how am I going to have the speakers on and not have sound feedback when I'm in the live thing on Saturday. Some IT guy I am. Who else we got hiding on here? I'll tell you what, I'm into right now. I've got I drug out my old SPI War in the West, or War in the West, War in the East, War in Europe, that big old monster game. And I dug down and grabbed my 3-inch GMT boxes that I had purchased a while back, and refolded the maps for the War in Europe. I think there's 9 of them, and then folded them down to fit in a 3-inch box, a regular 3-inch box, instead of a flat tray. And then started punching counters, or not punching, but clipping. Yeah, there's a few counters missing. I can't even remember where I got that thing. But I know one thing. I got all sort of 3 versions of it for free. I didn't pay a penny for it. But I started clipping those things a couple nights ago, and I got most of the War in the West ones done. Just finished up the U.S. this afternoon. I think I got the British left to do, maybe 1 or 2 small ones. But I was looking at the maps, and I never did get a chance to play any of those. But I think I'm going to set up a scenario in that here eventually and play that. Can't get away from them oldies. Say hey if you're on here, so I know who's there. That way I don't see nothing embarrassing. Bingo! Hey, tell me that was the signature on that game was at your location that it arrived? Sweet. That was a good choice, man. I kind of thought you would have took Death Valley, but either one of those was a great choice. But you don't even need them, do you? Gotcha. I still got what is it? Into the Woods on pre-order. Who knows? I mean, it made the cut. So, and then I hear that Line of Battle over at MMP, their next one's going to be the Wilderness, from what somebody was saying. And doesn't Compass Games? I want to say Compass Games they've got one that they're creating that's supposed to be at this tactical level. And I can't remember what it was. I know I read something about it the other day, but I can't remember what it was. I'm sorry, Compass Games, not Cutlass. Compass. I think they're jumping into the tactical Civil War market now, or they're going to try. And I'm sitting here goofing off. Got the sound turned off on my computer and just testing this camera out here. Steeler or Bingo, either are you all playing anything right now? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I played back in the 70s, and it slowed down in the 80s when I first went in the service and didn't really get to play much, maybe off and on. I'm antsy as hell, so I always got to. It seems like I always got to be. If I'm awake, I got to be doing something. but I sleep real good too. So that kind of, it gives me my energy back. But I don't know, man. I can't sit and grind out one game. I'm the same way with computer stuff too. So I can't, like, if I'm playing a computer game, I can go, like, I'll play World of Tanks and I'll go at it real hard for a few weeks or a month or so. And then I'm like, oh man, I got to do something else. And the rules thing, I mean, and believe me, nobody that I know masters them except for those ones that are like diehard squad leader players, and that's all they play. I know some guys like that's, I mean, they know it back and forth. But I mean, most games, you know, if you just take the fact that movement is movement, pretty much the same all the way around. Maybe there's just different segments where you're going to do it. I mean, you know, most things, everything has a movement allowance. I mean, to me, the most unique one for movement would be the great campaigns where you roll a dice to see how many movement points you're going to get. And like that great campaigns from the John Prados ones that I was playing, where you use a chart, depending on how many points you bid, that'll tell you how far you can move. I'm trying to figure out how that applies. I guess maybe that's just the troops weren't in it that day, and that's why they only moved 2 movement points. But I mean, you get over that, the movement and, you know, combat a lot for the most part, same thing. It's just comparing numbers. Just everybody has a little different format. It's mastering the intricate stuff. But I'll tell you right now, with me doing OCS, that's liable to slow me down with other games because, granted, I'm only in through the 4th or 5th turn in Tunisia, and that game takes, well, granted, I think I've picked up about 75 to 80% of it that I don't need to think about it anymore. The supply in that game, and I love it. The details aren't like super deep, but it's how you move those supplies around in that series that makes that game, I think, really fun. So, you know, I've got a bunch of those to play, but I don't know. I just pick up a rule book and I start reading and highlighting, and, you know, once I reach a certain point, the game goes on the table and I start playing. You know, I want to master the great battles of the American Civil War, and I think I'm pretty handy with that. There's a couple guys on Board Game Geek that they actually work on the living rules that are on the GMT site. They actually did the work on the 2019 living rules, and I think they're working on another new version of that. And I'll post my videos over there, and there's a couple of them over there. They'll just, you know, I'll say, hey, tell me what am I missing? What am I doing wrong? And I get answers, and I correct it. But I want to master that series. I think I'm pretty good with it. And the old SPI stuff, you know, just granted, I haven't played a lot of them in years, but those games were so just easy to pick up and learn. I mean, I was looking at the rules tonight for the War in Europe stuff, and they're not really, there's like, I think the standard rules has 15 or 18 sections, and it's not really that big. Yes, sir, it is, Mr. I/D/Jester. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Rough. And I've been looking at your unboxings, man. I want to see you play something. Play one of them darn things. I'm testing out this new camera my boss gave me to use Saturday. I smoke too, Rough. Now, when you just Tony now, I was just over watching his turn 6 of Rock of the Marne. Well, I can't. Is that he can't play anything because of the skill level required, or? Yeah, I got my teeth out too. No comments. I'll wear them on Saturday. Hey, PB. Shit. Feed this pet I got in here. So, hey, you missed it. So I'm punching or clipping SPI's War in Europe War in the West, War in the East. Took one of my 3-inch GMT boxes, refolded the maps, the 9 maps for the War in Europe, and put them in there, put the rules in there, filling up a couple trays. Oh, that'd be cool, Ruff. I'd like to see that. Everybody talks about that thing, and it's not my era, but I'm still interested to see it. I really am. Maybe I'll divert and start playing some of these generations of games that I don't, or these era of games that I don't seem to ever want to play or have ever bought in anything. You gonna play that thing, Jester? Yeah. Yeah, I know the ones I got. Same thing. What's on the floor, Ruff? Hey, does anybody have anything ordered from NWS? Because I sent him an email for an order that I made 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And I know his dad was having some health issues, but I haven't gotten even an email response back from him. He got my money, but I ain't got no games. I got like 5 coming from him. And one of them was a Mighty Endeavor because I didn't know the sale was going to happen. Now, what do you got coming in, Jester? I got you, Ruff. Ruff, where do you play? I watched your videos. Where are you playing them at? I watched your gosh darn it, the one you're playing here just recently with the squares. You play right there on the table where you do your YouTube stuff, or do you have another table? Crowbar, thank you. That's it. Well, I'm no Kyle Seeley, but I do got 4 tables I can play on. My big monster one, and then 3 regular 1-mappers. Living room table. Yeah. That's all right. Hey, my dining room table over here to my right, it's got plexiglass on it. And my assistant at work, her and her boyfriend come over on Veterans Day, bought me dinner, and they sat right there and ate right on top of my plexiglass. Yeah, he could. I agree, Bingo. He could. I watch a lot of Kyle because he does a lot of the Civil War stuff. He likes a lot of those games that I like to play. A lot of those. And matter of fact, he's the one that I heard about the line of battle coming in with the Wilderness. Hey, Ruff, I got my big table is a pop-up, or it's two Walmart pop-up tables. But like I said in one of those videos, I mean, granted, most people aren't going to do this, but I ordered those tabletop thingies from Uline. Hey, OG. And I put those on top so that I could have some good heavy base and then put my plexiglass on top. You know, I got these top loaders too. I got my other 2 came in. I still have not used them yet. Hi, Jester. You just don't have the room, Ruff? OG, how big's the tables you got? Yeah, I love my big table. I got 2. Of course, that's where I got that Typhoon and Tunisia set up right now. But I think next, once those are done, I don't know if it's going to be War in the West or if it's going to probably be one of the bigger OCS games. Hey, I live in an apartment where you can't have pets, thank God. And I took my second bedroom and turned it into my toy room. That's where all my games are. I'm sitting out in the living room right now, so don't ask me what's on the TV. I'm sure it's news. I got it muted, of course. That's perfect, OG. That'll hold any box 4 mapper. I know, like Vokdom Rhine. I know my table holds Vokdom Rhine really well. Ruff, you talking about, is that SPIs or next war? Or are you talking about the Vietnam one you just got? I'm kind of interested to see somebody actually play that. I know Hudson has it. I had to send Gamer Hudson a message saying, where are you at? I ain't seen him do nothing here. He responded back to me, but I haven't seen him post anything. I like watching his stuff. I hope he gets back to doing it. I'm curious to see how that plays, because you got an area map and then a hex map in that thing. There's a concept I'd never heard of. Yeah, Nick, that's it. Bingo, thank you. Isn't he? I think you and I may have had this conversation. Isn't he trying to do his Perryville game and get it to MMP? I saw some videos on him doing that. And you're right. He's a great teacher for rules, or for line of battle, anyhow. Operational and strategic. Okay. Yeah, OG. I got one of the games I'm waiting for from NWS is that Montelamar, because I want to try that CSS. I hear, I don't want to offend nobody, but I don't see many Compass games that I care for. But I did see that system, and that looks really, really good. Really, Bingo. I saw his demo map where him and his uncle were playing in his garage, and it looked, just for using crowns and stuff, it looked really, really good. Ruff, when are you going to put that Vietnam game on the table? Because I want to see you play that. Bingo, you mean in a good way or a bad way? Because my buddy just got that. Oh no, wait a minute. Enemy Action Ardennes. Is that a card-driven game? Oh, I'm sorry, Ruff. I thought you looked at the box and you instantly soaked in all the rules with your intelligence level. I thought you were, of the three, I thought you were the one that just learned that stuff like instantaneously. Jester's not here. I can talk shit about him right now. So. how do you know that we're not just faking it? What's the Larry, doesn't Compass have a didn't they just put out a West Front game? Oh my God. Something about Aachen. Was that Compass Games? It's a hex based. That's the game my buddy's got, and it looks pretty nice, actually. I got 3 monitors up here. You think I could just look this stuff up? But The original. Now, I'm going to tell you what, Grognard, your name goes way back in time with me. I can't recall where, but when I came back to playing and got online and started seeing all these wonderful people on here, your name, when I saw it, I was like, my God, why do I know that name from a long time ago? Maybe it's the picture. Aachen was a European. Come on, there's a brand new one, Bingo, that just came out. It's a World War II. And I'm telling you, I think it was Compass Games. And it looks like any of the other West Front type hex to hex games. I have to ask my buddy what it was. Yeah, that's OG. That's Judd's. That's good old Judd. Once he got his hands on that one, that was his claim to fame there. That's it. Bingo. That's it. Crossing the line. Was that Compass Games? Who was it? Bingo. Volca Sins, rough. What is that? European or something? That company? I don't recognize that name. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Now I get what you're talking about. European game. Well, I know my buddy down the road here. He's got it. It was sitting on his table when I was down there a couple of weeks ago, and to me, it looked like the potentially really, really good hex-based game. So, okay. So, I have played one point-to-point game ever, and it was because of some friends of mine. They got me to play the Napoleonic Wars. It was a good game, and they ended up giving me my own copy of it. So, but it's the only one I've ever played. And I don't think I own any others. I've never owned any area movement games. And now I have most of the was it the Clash of Arms, the series that Callendale just covered not too long ago. I have probably 60% of those. Hey, Heath. And I will get those out and play those, but I can't help it, man. I've been a hex to hex based World War I, World War II, Napoleon, American Civil War, and then maybe throwing some Vietnam here and there. I'm going to try Korea with the OCS one. I've just never been attracted to the other ones, and I know I'm missing out on a bunch of really, really good games. For the people, that's where did I see that? That's come on, help me out here, Bingo. That I just saw that. I was just looking at that the other day. That's not MMP. Is that GMT? Wardrobe, my buddy. I heard your name on a video today. Yeah, GMT. Okay, Mark Herman. All right. I'm still waiting on the reprint of. I have the Victory Games Civil War, but I'm waiting on the reprint of. Is it Simonich's one for GMT? I've got that on pre-order, but I don't know if that one's ever going to get here. Hey, War, when are you going to put up some videos, man? I know you're making a change. What's the change you're making? I want to see some coverage, man. I'll tell you what I need. I have War Between the States, the old SPI one. So I guess it's like the godfather for those, from what I understand. But my counters, I don't know where my counters are. And I need to get a set of counters. I guess I could make them, but I really want to get that. I never did play. That's not a game I never did play. Bingo, I wasn't too far from you. I used to live in Waterloo, Iowa years ago. For a couple of years, I lived out there. Minnie, what's up, buddy? Oh, sweet. Good deal, War. I'm sure you'll let us all know. Where are you at, OG? You in Des Moines? Or hell, I don't even remember all the towns' names out there anymore. Cedar Rapids. Oh my God. Okay. You way out there, Grognard. Way out there. Iowa, nice vibe. I'll tell you what I remember about Iowa. Because when the wind blew out there were no damn hills to block that cold air. I know that. But I chose Iowa too. That was I was stationed out there as an Army recruiter for a while, and I chose that area. Oh boy, Heath. Somebody told me, somebody backed up here. Is Reluctant Enemies? Is that the one that's good for learning? There were two. Tunisia was one of them, and then I want to say somebody told me Reluctant Enemy. Yeah, there you go. That's Everybody that I hear says that Reluctant Enemies is the one that you should use. They say it was literally designed for that. If you can find it to get your hands on it. I mean, I know there's some out there, but I know what people are asking for. Well, now I'll tell you this. Well, Tunisia doesn't really have any. Well, at least the part I'm playing, not many Navy, but somebody asked me the other day what rules I'm using. Is it 4.3? I'm using the latest rules. Now, granted, I know I won't see everything in there, but that's what I'm using. I just got Burma. I'm going to try that one too. Hey, I need a good, and I know somebody's like, I want a good game for the World War II, China, and Japan. Arizona. Well, we got people from all over the place, over the pond, out on the West Coast, up in the Midwest. I'm in hillbilly heaven in West Virginia. Bingo, you thinking there's one of those games might be an against the odds? What did Compass release? What game did they release that covers that? Now, OG, I'm gonna tell you, I did like Waterloo and Cedar Falls. I did like that. So Minnie, Shenandoah and Centerville, like Shenandoah and Centerville here in my area, or in Virginia, West Virginia? Oh, wow. I was only out there 2 years. I didn't know there was a Centerville and a Shenandoah in Iowa. I didn't mind. I actually kind of enjoyed it. Hey, bingo, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you right now. That's if you told me I had to pick, yeah, so I like the big games. Whether or not I ever get one completely completed, I don't know. But I do like the monsters, and up until I came back to playing here in the last year, I'd have to say Wacht am Rhein, the SPI version, was my go-to. It was my thing. But and granted, all I have is Tunisia, the original version of Tunisia, on the book table right now. It's taking over. Just some of the mechanics of the game. Now, I haven't played Bach. I have Wacht am Rhein decision games. I guess that's the Gauss system. I've not played that or ever even read the rules, but it's my intention to. Plus, I have Atlantic Wall on the way. If I ever hear anything from NWS. North Wind Rain Rough. You're saying that's the one? And that's World War II, Japan, and China. Is it hex based? I have Terrible Swift Sword. I got both versions of it. That was when I started playing again. That was the game I pulled out of my closet that got me started playing again back in, I think, December last year. You could do that in Terrible Swift Sword. Maybe in the TSR version. I know I have that. I haven't played that one yet. I want to say that the Bloody April, the Shiloh one, you had to track that. Oh, sure, Heath. I got the first one coming. Invasion of Manchuria. But Ruff, you're telling me that's World War II. North Wind Rain. You know, Heath, a lot of people say they didn't play that game because the rules, and I know I've commented on it. After I started playing it, I realized that entire rule book is laid out step by step in the way you do the sequence of play. It just maybe at the beginning and at the end where I think the command, though, the bidding and the command is probably what throws people off. And there is a lot of detail to the game, but I never had any problems deciphering. I think I had one rule that I had to get clarified, but before Against the Odds responded to me, I found the answer in the book. So, hey, DG. I'm checking my mailbox there, Doug. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see it, man. Darn it, Rough. Now I got to pull this up and look at it. Let me go to Board Game Geek. You said North Wind Rain, huh? Nope. North Wind Rain. Okay, 2003. No, man, I want to. Okay, I see it now. I'm looking at it. Come on, I know that there were. I watched. Not Tick. I've been watching Indy Nidell's stuff, World War II, and there were some major battles between Japan and China. Somebody's got to have a game that represents that. I'm looking at that North Wind Rain right now. That looks like a good looking game. That's a good looking map. I know that. I hear you, Heath. I'm the same way, man. I look at my bookshelf and I'm like, come on. I saw who is it, Stephen Dolges. I saw him. I watched his video earlier today or yesterday, where he used a spin wheel to spin the wheel to figure out what he's going to play next. And I think he came up with the Fall of the Third Reich. You know I'm watching those channels. I check. I find them up. Charles, you in here anywhere? Oh, Charles Latour. I know he's in the Attack Up game. He's posted a couple videos. He's taking his stab at putting some videos up, and he's got a couple up. So if you guys are in Attack Up, get over to Charles' channel and take a look. Give him a like on his videos over there. He's shooting. He's just getting started doing the stuff. Heath, I don't know why, but for some reason, I want to see you play Wellington's Victory. OG, what are you playing right now? Doug, what are you playing right now? And Bingo, I never heard you say you were playing. Then what are you playing? I know you said you're thinking about OCS. I wish you would, so I could scratch your brain about what it is. Roads to Leningrad. Not that little thing that Callendale from SPI was playing, right? Oh, damn it, Doug. I keep looking at both of those and thinking about that because I hear the system's actually pretty good. He's bigger than Nelson's. Well, okay, so come on. Wellington defeated Napoleon. Am I wrong? I mean, I know what Horatio Hornblower did. Yeah, OG, who's that Roads to Leningrad? Which one? Who's that? And hey, Doug, don't they have? Didn't they do? They did. See, they did Antietam and Shiloh. Don't they have a third one? There you go, Charles. Good to see those videos, man. Glad you're on here. Keep at it. I want to see more, man. You got some interesting games. PB Combat. I want to say you told me you like that series, the Combat Commander. You and there's somebody else. Ruff, aren't you the other one that likes that Combat Commander? One of y'all was saying that to me the other day. I saw it somewhere. And Heath, you were telling me last 100 yards, right? God, Doug, I swear I saw something about that somewhere that they got a third one, but I can't. I'm tell you what I haven't seen anybody do. One of them I think is going to be coming to fruition before long, and that's if MMP does the Wilderness Line of Battle, a tactical level Civil War game for the Wilderness. I do have the Huzzah one because I saw Kyle Seeley get it out, and I went ahead and bought that in the first volume, and that is actually goes down to I think like a battalion level, but not quite the big tactical thing that I'm looking for. But I've noticed that I've never seen anybody do a tactical level game on like Chattanooga. Matter of fact, the only stinking Chattanooga game I remember playing was old SPI's old Blue and the Gray. It was Blue and Gray 1 or Blue and Gray 2. Ruff, I thought you played. Would you play one of those card type driven World War II games? Weren't you talking about one last Saturday on Jester's room? Y'all were discussing one. Man, I know I'm getting old. My memory's going. Hundred years Heath, what are you talking about? 100 years? 100 years related? 100 years war? 100 years whatever? What are you referring to? Come on, fill me in. That's your go-to, PB? Yeah, I know. I heard you say that about Huguenot. But I swear I heard you talking about a World War II. Or maybe you all were just discussing one, is what it was. Oh, last 100 yard, duh. You would think being former military, I would grab those little acronyms. Now, Heath, I got, what is it? I've got all four of the, I don't have the 2 free print and play ones, but I have all 4 of the Napoleonic Brigade series from MMP, and that has, I think one of those is in Portugal. I have to look at them. All right, PB, cut the lawn. My God, where do you live? Hawaii? Should be dark by now. Yeah, well, Heath, you're tempting me to want to go buy that. Oh, look, good God, PB. 8:15 in the morning. You are in Hawaii, aren't you? No, where are you? You got to be out in the Far East. Am I wrong? Vimera, that's it, Heath. And I want to play those too because I like the Civil War Brigade series. I understand those are similar, although the rules look heavier in the Napoleonic one. Yeah, I'll bet you there's a lot of games that are, because I hear Ruff talking about stuff that we can't. Granted, you all probably can't get some of the stuff over here, but I'm sure there's a ton of them. I was over when I got married my first time, it was up in Odense was the name of the town. I can't remember which country it is, but it's funny because I went in, we were just wandering around town, and I went into I don't even remember what kind of store it was, but they had 2 Avalon Hill games. They were in a small box. One was about the 20th Maine, and the other was, I think it was called the 100 Days or something like that. It was Napoleonic. They were just tiny games with the little 4-panel fold-out cardboard maps, and I still got both of them. But I think I paid 80 krona for those 2 games in that store, and they were Avalon Hill. It kind of stunned me. But I don't know if I've ever seen an actual game produced by a company in Europe, at least that I know of. Hell, I probably got one in my closet and don't even realize it. I think I was over there for like 7 years and loved it. Tell you what, Ruff, that I'm looking at that North Winds Rain game from Against the Odds, and I am so tempted. That's a good looking map. Yeah, I hear a lot of that about Hexacin. Aren't they tied in? Who are they tied in with? They're tied in with somebody else, aren't they? Or are they strictly on their own? Oh, I'm looking at their site now. Oh, yeah, I looked at here. The Fate of Raiders. I remember seeing about that. Last Eagles. Oh, now Operational Study Groups, I definitely know that name. OSG. Wasn't OSG, though, out of Australia or something? Oh, I recognize a lot of these titles. That's what I'm wondering, Heath. because I know they were tied to somebody else. Because a lot of like Liberty Roads, I recognize that title. I tell you what, I kind of wish I had the spread of eras of games that I would play, like Jester and Ruff have, and Tony and some of you other. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, my reach isn't that far as some of you all, and I kind of wish it was. But then I know I'd spend thousands of more dollars if it was. Hey, Charles, I saw your unboxing of Victory Games of Civil War. I want to see that one filmed. Hey, and if you need any instruction on it, go watch Stuka Joe's year one playthrough. Because you talk about somebody that can instruct on how to play a game, Stuka Joe's got it. Blaming you too. I watch a lot of your stuff. Hey, Doug, how's the weather down there? Heroin, crack, meth, whatever. Cheaper than nicotine in this area. Yeah, I've got a Flying Colors series here. Being on, yeah, I'm saying I love them. I'm curious. I want to play one of these Napoleonic Brigade series ones because I want to see. I think about how the extended line stuff has to be in some games. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in a Napoleonic. I mean, I think the last Wellington's Victory years ago, I was never able to finish that game. Never really had a place where I could keep it set up. But what's the quad game, Napoleon's Last Battles? I think I got two versions. I think I got the SPI and a TSR version. That was a great game. Yeah, OG, I'm going to give OCS Korea a shot myself. I used to have Victory Games of Vietnam, the Vietnam one, but I'm telling you, I think when I got divorced my last time, the many times, that I think I left a bunch of games behind, and I'm sure they were burned as an effigy. So, no, my last wife was a good woman. She'd have called me about it. But I've lost a bunch of games somewhere, like Panzer Group of Guderian. That was a great game, and I know I had it, and I don't know what I did with it. I'm going to tell you what, Ruff, you were talking about a game Saturday about getting it shipped from the U.S. to England was like $80 or something like that. I can't fathom that. Yeah, OG, I like the Civil War is my thing too. Civil War and World War II, definitely. I mean, Market Garden is great. Oh, the MMP sale. That's right, Ruff. Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Oh, see, Doug, 67 degrees. That's my temperature right there. That's get outside on the golf course weather for me. So those y'all missed it. I'm punching War in Europe, War in the West. I've refolded all the maps. I punched out probably 80% of the War in the West counters and put them in a new box. Got rid of those flat trays. 92 mini. But it's a dry heat, man. Well, Front to the Enemy and Silver Bayonet, those aren't hex based, are they? Those are. Which the you talking about the Heights of Courage, Doug? Oh, they are hex-based OG. Okay, my bad. Now I'm gonna have to go look them up. I know I've seen them before. Didn't Silver Bayonet get a lot of claim to fame or something? There are two versions of that game, one in 1990 and then, yeah, the 25th anniversary. I'll be damned. Now that's interesting. I'm looking at that right now. Silver Bayonet, the 25th anniversary edition. Shit. How do I miss all this stuff? Oh, not Yom Kippur, the Ziploc one. Or did I get another one? Yeah, and I bought Guadalajara too. Somebody tell me what the hell that's about. No, Yom Kippur I think is SCS. I think all three of those four games I bought were SCS, and then the Korea one was OCS. Charles, are you telling me that's a China versus Japan game in World War II? Oh, so I'm okay, huh, Bingo? Well, the Battle for China 1937 second edition, that's an area movement. There's another one on here too, the whole. That's strategy and tactics. And then there's one in 1999. Hello. No, that's also area movement. Well, Charles, that was two games on it, but I want a hex one. All right, the Guadalajara one. Oh, that's Franco, isn't it? The Guadalajara. That has something to do with Franco, didn't it? Yeah, the Egyptians take in the sake. Yep. All right. Yeah, we tempted on what, Heath? The Yom Kippur, or just an OCS or something? Oh, okay, yeah, SCS. You saying SCS is less convoluted? Yeah, yeah. What would be the sequence of the MMP series? Would it be SCS would be the good base to start from with less rules and stuff, and then what? Probably OCS and then GTS and then T. Oh, I almost got it right. Really, OCS. So I would think SCS would be the one with the less rules to master. And then I would say, I mean, in my opinion, I haven't done the other two yet, but I would say then OCS and then GTS. And then I would think TCS is going to be not as large a scale as the GTS, but I think it's more because you actually, it takes me back to the military of writing an operations order and putting lines on the map. And what's the other? Oh, the battalion combat series. I'm looking forward to that too. Hey, RH, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I found a Chinese game about the battle in China. Come on, there's got to be a game out there somewhere that's hex based. Japan and China in World War II, all that stuff I'm seeing and all the battles they had out there. Got a headache. Get on it, Heath. Get on it. Oh, by the way, I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm sending all my videos to Heath now so that he can start adding commentary to my videos. All of them. All my 4-hour-long video sessions for Great Battles of the American Civil War. All right, Rob, it is, brother. Oh, so you got all 4 of y'all's initials in there? What's up, Wade? Good to see you, buddy. Hey, Wade, have you heard from NWS? Do you have anything waiting from him? I sent him an email the other day, and I haven't gotten nothing. Pick a Gettysburg game, Heath. Pick one of the 500 out there. All right, Charles, this is your third strike. War of Resistance. Oh, you win, sir. Hex-based Japan versus China. Oh, I didn't even think about that one, Ruff. And that's a monster too, isn't it? Charles, that was a good pick, man. How'd you find that? Jesus, that's how many maps is that? That's looks like multiple foldouts on that one. Yeah, I sent him. I sent him an email asking about the order, and I PS'd him saying I hope his dad's doing well. But he hasn't. That was like 3 or 4 days ago. He hasn't responded back yet. I have to look at that game. I'm going to bookmark that one, Charles. Good call. And good call, Ruff, on that other one. Daisenso. Yeah, and Ruff, I saw somebody playing Daisenso. And shoot, was it the wise guy or was Stephen Dolges? Which one do you have, Ruff? You have Daisenso? No, I don't think anybody said that one, Rob. And that one's fairly new, isn't it? That's maybe that was on this list when I hit it. Yeah. 2013 War of the Suns. Oh, that was multi-man. Okay. And you're saying that's a good looking map too. Good looking multiple maps. Well, crap. How did I miss this? Dan Picaldi. What's that? That's no enemies here. Yeah, I got to get me one of these. I've been watching all those, like I said, those Indy Nidell, the World War II videos, and where he keeps references, and I keep seeing all these just phenomenal battles between China and Japan. And I just decided I got to have one. Oh, Wade, you watching this on your cell phone? We got to put that router in for you, or that new modem. We'll have to do that. So, Bingo, was that you? It said something to me about having somebody down the road. Stonewall here is my buddy down the road. I was Rob. I was in Europe from 80 to 87, and back in the States until about 92, and got tired of getting shot at and said bye-bye. Oh man, I was in Mannheim, Germany from 80 to 87. Of course, I was in and out of the country so much. Oh, Gießen. Oh yeah, brother. Sure. Who were you with over there? Field artillery. I was a scout in 5.68 armor. I used to love you arty guys, man. When I was calling fire. Love it. You all blow it up. I'll just sit here and tell you where it is. That might be the one, Charles. That might be the one. That, although that first one you showed me looked pretty good too. It was older, I believe, but it looked pretty good. Rob, I've always wanted to go back. My first wife was German. I lived in the Heidelberg area. And funny me, the only guy in the world to marry a German girl that did not want to come back to the United States. But I loved it over there. But I've always wanted to go back just to see what the country's like now, because, of course, I left before the wall came down. So am I having any issues with the sound on this thing, guys? In the video, is it okay? I mean, I know a couple guys earlier said it was fine. Anybody, am I too loud? Do I need to tone it down, use my indoor voice? Because I got news for you, I don't got one. Hey, Gunn. Hey, Todd was on here talking shit about you a little while ago. Yeah, Rob, I do. I thought about it all the time. Oh, gee, where in the world are you at that you wanted to go over to Prokhorovka? Yeah, you can tell me about COVID getting in the way. I had my doctor's appointment today, and my assistant at work, she's her boyfriend's father tested positive, and because she was in contact with somebody, my doctor rescheduled my appointment today because of that. I'm like, well, I wasn't in contact with him yet. This thing's got the world all in a mess right now. Part of your work, OG. Now I'm curious. Tony, you're fixing to get into a big fight, brother, in Rock of the Marn. I don't know if Wardrobe's still on here or not, Gunn. He was. He was in the midst of doing something. There's something that stinks. Why can't I see a list of who's on here? Didn't work. Now, see, Rob, I'm going to say the same thing in 92 when I got out. I wanted to go back to South America and do some work with the DEA or maybe even Secret Service. And that was a bad year for us to have gotten out or to try to do something government because they froze every damn thing. Participants in the menu. I don't see anything that says participants. Now I do. Well, then I can't see you all chatting. Can I pull that thing out somehow? Any way to slide it out? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, no, that didn't work either. So there's no way to see both at the same time. Well, that stinks. And that's not showing. It says there's 12 people in here. That list only shows me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's lying to me. I keep thinking about, I want to buy some stuff, some video streaming stuff, and I keep looking at, what is it called, VCam, the XSplit stuff. Anybody have any knowledge of whether that's any good? Yeah, Rob, I agree. I remember doing, I don't know whether you all got a chance to do them or not, doing border tours over there. I remember running OP Alpha and running OP Tennessee for a couple of stints when I was over there. Tony, you guys still doing the hunter stuff, those patrols? You and Jester and Ruff, all y'all still doing that? Graf and Veer. Tanker's heaven. All right, Heath. Yeah, we'll talk to you soon, brother. Good to see you. So what you're saying is they're slacking. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Rob. That's memories, man. Hey, I was up there when that Hind D was what we call it, shadowing. Was shadowing that damn Cobra, and that Cobra pretty much banked off and almost rolled completely over, and that Hind D tried to do it and then ended up on the ground on its upper rotors. Yeah, I'm not going to say that, Wade. I know that Saturday, though, I'm going to do Jester and Ruff and Tony. I'm going to be on their show at like noon on Saturday. Tony, I'm tied up in your Rock of the Marn, brother. You need to secure that room, go on lockdown, and play the rest of that out because I want to see that darn Allied assault or that Allied offensive. I was just impressed that you were able to take all those Southern victory locations for the Germans. I could never do it. Right. Oh man, Wade, tell me it's that Gettysburg, the wheat field. You ain't gonna tell me. If you got that damn game, man, I'm gonna tell you what. That I'm jacked up about that one. Hey, Doug, there's a game. If that's what he's talking about, Doug, if you're still on there, it's called Gettysburg, the wheat field. It's kind of like playing a minis game with counters on a board where you measure your movement. And I looked at this, and it's like impossible to find this game. And I think Stonewall here, I think he found somebody with it, if that's what he's talking about. Man, if he does, I could not wait to get my hands on that thing. Tony, what's going on your table after the Rock of the Marne? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm curious about that too. I think the only ancient game like that I own would be Caesar Elysia. Yeah, Doug, you're right. It is. It is. And I think that's why. And plus, ever trying to find one was hard. But if Stonewall is talking about what I think he is, I think he found somebody that made a trade. Of course, he probably had to give up half his blood and his first 3 born children for it if he did. Tony Costa. Why do I know that name, Tony? Oh, Wade. All right, Wade. I'll talk to you here soon, man. Oh, you're Tony. You're clipping SPQR. I'm gonna have to look that one up. How many different scenarios in that thing, or how many different ages for that matter? And did you get the deluxe edition? Oh wow, it does look like a lot of pieces. Now I'm going to say GBA CW is definitely my favorite, but I have not played a line of battle yet. Yeah, I was looking at that list. I said, are there a lot of mods? Yeah, there's a whole boatload of them on BGG that look like a lot of them are mods. Rob, is that what you're talking about? Like Warband Combat in the Ancient World. We got a player's guide. Hey, Doug, I'm gonna tell you what, if that is the game he's talking about, and I get that, something is gonna come off a table. So that can go on at that Wheatfield game. Not to mention the one coming up from you down there. That's gonna go too, because I watched Kyle Sealy play that game. I'll tell you, man, some of you guys are going to make me buy games that I probably have never bought in my entire life. I can see that coming. I think Stonewall wants me. He's got a copy of the Avalon Hill. I used to have it years ago called Air Assault on Crete. He wants to give me that so I can play it and do some video. And I remember playing that thing a long, long time ago, which would be interesting because I have Operation Mercury that eventually I'll get on the table too. So that might be a good comparison. My God, there's a boatload of modules for that SPQR. Ruff, didn't you say you said you got that one too, don't you? Tony's got it. Did you say you had it too? Told you I'm getting old, man. I can't remember. I can't even remember what you typed an hour ago. Hey, Rob, I'll tell you something. When I came back to doing this and all the games and the companies where I had missed, I sat down and I think it was Kyle Sealy was playing one of the Civil War Brigade Series games in the wilderness. And of course, all of them were out of print. I'm not going to lie to you. That night, I spent $1,800 online and bought the entire series except for 2, which I've gotten since. That's how badly bitten I got. I thought I heard you say something about that, Ruff. God, please make sure you all film that, because I think before I pull the trigger on something like that, I got to see it played. I want to say I've seen somebody. Jester hasn't played it, has he? Oh, Kev. Okay. I watched his stream with Mo and Gimpy, where they were evaluating the CSRs. Do you have a dumb question? Do you have the U-Boot show? That's right. I want DAC 2 and I want Case Blue, and whoever has it out there, if you don't mind, just send it to me for free. I really don't want to pay $800 for a used copy of Case Blue. All right, gang. Well, it's almost pill time for me, so I think I'm going to call this thing quit. This is a good test run. If anybody saw something bad about this camera, yeah, I heard you, Tony, talking about that. You were stepping away from that. I can't. I'm addicted to them. If anybody saw anything wrong with this camera or the sound, somebody send me a message or leave a comment. I'll go ahead and kick this one out to YouTube and leave it there. Appreciate it, guys. I tell you, lots of good stuff in here, man. I appreciate the chat tonight with you all. I was just going to test this out and got a lot of good information from you all. Thanks for looking at that China and Japan stuff, because I want one of those badly. So I guess I'm gonna have to get on there. I'm gonna get Stonewall to see if he's got one, but I'm gonna need to get one. All right, I got some more Tunisia to play and some more Typhoon to play. So I'm gonna call it quits here tonight. Appreciate everybody coming in, guys. Yeah, we'll see you Saturday, Ruff. I hope to see all y'all Saturday. Take it easy, guys.